dead. Just falls to his doom. That's a lot of trust there. At long last, the time has come to light Venus Lighthouse's beacon. With the second beacon lit, only 2 will remain. No, lighting Jupiter is virtually the same as lighting Mars. That is true. Jupiter is really all that remains. What does that mean? That's right. Your dreams are within your grasp now. That's gotta be Sheba. Just hanging out. Never seen before on camera, I think. Why are you still here, Felix? I thought I ordered you ordered you on ahead to the ship. I've already sent Jenna and the others to the dock at Idejima. Then why did you come back? Because I have a different promise to keep. A promise, you say? You must mean Sheba. Yes, Sheba. Why haven't you released her yet? They probably need her to get into the Jupiter? The Jupiter lighthouse? Or Mars? Wait, or is she a Venus? She might be a Venus character, because desert theming. You promised to free her once you got into the Venus lighthouse. Oh yeah, that's why they kidnapped her in the first place. So they needed, so yeah, once again, they needed a Venus adept to get in the lighthouse. And apparently both of them are Mars. I guess that's why they said Mars was so easy, is because both of them are Mars. They needed Alex to get into the Mercury lighthouse. But why was Venus lighthouse full of Jupiter power puzzles then? And that's what brought you back here? You promised not to involve anyone who wasn't related to this matter. Sheba is special. Of course. Because Sheba is a special adept. You guys learned something from the first 2 lighthouses. And what would that be? In order to enter each lighthouse, you needed an adept of that clan. Right now, we have fire, earth, and water adepts, but no wind adept. That does seem to be the case. Do we need Sheba to get into the Jupiter lighthouse? Does she have both powers or something? I'm sorry, Felix, but we cannot even enter without a wind adept. That being the case, I guess I understand why you can't set Sheba free. Wait, so was Sheba not necessary to get in this lighthouse? Because you got in with Felix and Jenna, right? So they pre-kidnapped her for a completely different lighthouse, but she brought her along for this one for some reason. It seems that you, too, have learned something. If that is all, then you should go, Felix. No. I cannot leave Sheba behind. I'm taking Sheba to the ship. What are you talking about, Felix? We don't know what will happen when you light this beacon. I won't leave Sheba here to find out. We told you that we'd protect Sheba. Don't you trust us? That's not what I'm saying. It's just best to be safe. Don't tell us what's best, Felix. You're not taking Sheba. Why not? What? You don't trust me? How can we, after you just demanded we free Sheba? If we had trusted you a moment ago, Sheba would be free now. Come with me, Sheba. I shall protect you. Are you ready to do this, even though it means fighting us? I believe he is. He would not have defied us if he lacked the will to fight. If it means protecting Sheba from harm, then I must. She is not speaking a single time so far. You have seen what we can do. You know you can't stop us. How can you protect Sheba when you can't even protect yourself? This rebellious attitude is exactly why we've never let you fight. Haven't you been given enough reason to fear us in these travels? You're no fighter, Felix. How can you hope to stand against us? You've questioned us for the last time. Let's see what you can do. It looks like they're having a falling out over Sheba. There's something more to it, though. It seems Saturos and Menardi no longer trust Felix. Looks like the perfect opportunity has just fallen into our laps. Now's our only chance to prevent them from lighting the beacon. There's not a moment to spare, let's move. He's gonna be defeated before we even get there, isn't he? It's pretty funny saying that Felix is not a fighter. But we'll get to that. Isaac. So, you've come to stop us? Look what your defiance has brought us, Felix. You could have just let him do it. I don't need you or anyone to rescue me, Isaac. I was just about to settle things with Saturos and Menardi. You can watch. I don't think that's gonna work out. And then we'll show you the true power of this beacon's light. But Sheba has nothing to do with this, so set Sheba free. Silence! You'd best tread lightly, Felix, or both you and Sheba will suffer. If anything happens to Sheba, we will have failed Farron. Also, Sheba is her own interest too, I guess. But sure, our debt to Farron. We won't permit you to lay a hand on Sheba or Felix. I guess I don't have a debt to Farron. Who the fuck is Farron? He just showed up at some point. He's not even the person I was doing this quest for. Oh ho, so you're worried about Sheba too? Don't worry, we won't hurt Sheba if you meet our conditions. We just heard your whole we know you need Sheba to open the lighthouse, so we know you're not gonna hurt her. You don't have freaking... You don't have any, anything to go on here. What are you doing, Saturos? Leave this to me. Sheba, do you remember the rod connected to Hesperia? Is it the shaman rod? Oh, she's suddenly talking. The rod of Hesperia? The rod required to reach the Jupiter lighthouse. Does my Jupiter adept have it? Could I possibly guess? Yes. Those who pursue us bear a rod. Is it the one? Sheba, stay where you are. You can do it from there. Is she like gonna yoink it? How about it, Sheba? Does she have like an identification spell? Or scrying? Well, Sheba? Perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps what? Don't yell at her. We're not yelling. We just want a straight answer. So, Sheba? Their minds are veiled. I cannot see clearly, but I think it's the one. It's a waste to make her try again. So, what do we do? I mean, you were already gonna fight me, weren't you? So what's the difference? Do you know the terms we will require before we agree not to harm Sheba? Yeah, you want the rod. You're smarter than I thought it. I thought if you've already figured it out. If you give us the shaman's rod, Sheba will not be harmed. Agreed? You're not gonna harm Sheba anyway. He wants the shaman's rod. If it will save Sheba, I'll give it up. Ivan, they're not gonna hurt... We already heard that they're not gonna hurt Sheba. They don't have any bartering here. It's a false fucking gambit, or whatever word it fits here. What? But Hammett gave that to you, Isaac. Ivan, shit. Don't you care what happens to Sheba? You need a Jupiter adept to get in. Then you will give us the rod. Well done, Saturos. We finally have the shaman's rod. So apparently you need the rod in addition to an adept to get into that lighthouse? Go get it, Felix. Why me? To ensure your loyalty to us. You guys are all about the power moves, huh? Go on, Felix. Isaac handed over the shaman's rod, even though Ivan had it. And also, Isaac wasn't willing to do that. What should I do with the rod? Shove it up your ass. Keep it safe. Where do you think you're going, Sheba? That music cutting out. We gave you the rod. Now release Sheba. Whatever do you mean? Yeah, they only said they wouldn't harm her. You said you'd free Sheba if we gave you the rod. No, they didn't. God, you guys are bad at this. Those were your terms. We gave you the rod, so release Sheba. You seem to have misunderstood. I said we wouldn't harm Sheba, which they already were going to not do anyway, you dumb bastards. But I never said we'd let her go. You're altering the bargain? Pray I do not alter it further. We can't help if you misinterpreted Saturos' terms. Besides, if we were to release Sheba, she'd be in quite a fix. What do you mean? Sheba can't get back to La Lavero alone. What do you mean? We're going to take Sheba. Oh no. Yeah, they're gonna kill you, Ivan. This was always gonna be a fight. I don't know how you expected something else to happen. That's right. You won't be going back. This is it for you. Can't wait to skip all of this dialogue, which is just so much if I die. Excuse me? Enough. You're the ones who aren't going anywhere. Bring it on, whelp. You won't live long enough to regret your stupidity. Prepare to experience firsthand the horror of a master fire adept. All of that when we're just like, we were always just gonna fight. I think I get the point though. I think they're trying to set up Felix having the shaman rod. Menardi and Saturos. So now not only is Saturos not being weakened by a lighthouse, but Menardi is also here. So it's like quadruple the power that we're facing right now. I'm just hoping they don't one-shot me while I'm unloading all of these attacks on them, because I'm very weak right now. I'll just use Wish preemptively just in case. Yeah, they're going first. Oh god, oh god. Oh, that's good. that worked out pretty well. Alright, so Menardi is faster than... even after all my buffs, Menardi is faster than Mia. Mia really has gotten the least characterization out of anyone, huh? I think she's the quietest, and after her introduction chapters, she mostly stops talking. They like to have that annoying spell. I looked that up after fighting Deadbeard, and it removes all buffs. That's what they mean by strength returning to normal. It's like, that's annoying. Here's some big spikes of damage. So one of them debuffed me even though I wasn't using buffs, which is a waste of a turn, and the other one did an attack that I removed with Wish, so we've survived the first turn. But it won't be until like next turn that I start recovering Djinn, which is the most important part of this whole process. So still gotta hope for the best. Oh, that's not very strong. They also have Wish, which is weird because it's a water spell. Maybe they have a bunch of weird Djinn. in their party. No one ever talks about them. Maybe that's like a rule about Djinn. If you talk about them, they disappear. A rule that we somehow know without being told it. Haunt. No effect. Wow, they're really letting me get away with these early turns. Oh shit, evil spirit on Isaac. I don't know what that does. So I should start getting stronger this turn now. At the end of this turn, everyone will start recovering. They let me off relatively easy. They didn't attack me that much. Alright, so now we're getting a little stronger each turn. Shine Plasma. Let's see, you're... They're right, they're fire, so they're weak to water, so they're specifically weak to Mia, but Mia heals. So I don't really want to attack with Mia, necessarily. Might have to just brute force through this shit and hope for the best. You know what, Isaac? You just do your normal attack, actually. You got a pretty strong stuff on you. So we might find out the hard way what... Oh, God. Thank you for not attacking Isaac. Might find out the hard way what the evil spirit does. We had a strong opening salvo, but I otherwise have like no idea how strong these enemies are. Yeah, I don't have my buffs yet. It'll take a bit for those to show up. But they can also just get rid of my buffs, I guess. That's annoying. Heat Flash! Wow, a lot of debuffs on Isaac. Demon Fire. A curse does 28 damage. Does the curse damage me every turn or just when I attack? Alright, this is worth checking. But Golden Sun Curse. Let's do Haunted. Because Curse is confusing, because Curse means something else. It inflicts Haunt. After each action a possessed target takes, there's a chance that the haunted target will take a random amount of damage. It can only be removed by tonic and salt. So it's just, he just randomly takes damage here and there. Just what do? So it's not attacking specifically, it's just anytime I do anything, it might go badly for me. Don't you have salt though? No. Salt might be a Djinn from a different game. Mudding the waters a bit. Yeah, fire is probably pretty weak, so probably just be attacking as Garrett. Heals all party ailments. That's good, but you're the only healer. If I don't stay on that, I'm gonna be in trouble. Oh, stop it. Whoa! Already? Oh my god! They're dead. It might be one of those cases where the optional dungeons boss was stronger than the final boss of the game, so they might be weaker than Deadbeard. We did it. We beat them. All right, Sheba, let's go. Felix, what are you doing? I cannot give up, Sheba. What? But we just saved you. I never asked you to help us. Felix, you're not one of them. You're free to go now. So why are you doing this? The 4 beacons must still be lit. You're going to light the beacons? That's ridiculous. I felt you'd say that, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think that's also why they were like, the Mars thing is as good as lit. It's like, not only can they get in because they're Mars, but they were counting on being able to defeat Isaac's party. So wait, if he means to light the beacons, then he's our enemy, right? Do what you will, Isaac. But if you try to stop me, I'll fight you. I hope you don't think you've finished us off. Oh, is that just their first phase? You may not be finished, but you can barely stand. Right now, yes, but we'll be back on our feet as soon as we do this. Smoke bomb, vanish. Oh. Oh no, he threw the elemental star into the lighthouse. Why don't you guys just do that at the beginning? Why were you waiting? How could this happen? We couldn't keep them from lighting the beacon. I mean, it's really easy. They get here first, they already have the stone, and you just go yeet, and then you win. That's the whole process. It's weird that they let you almost stop them each time. That's not all. The energy of the beacon will restore our power. Why? How can it restore their power? Venus is the earth elemental, right? Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Isaac should be a badass now. Then why would Venus give power to fire adepts? Fire and earth share a symbiotic relationship. This light will restore our Psynergy. Wait, fire and earth are synergetic? Does that mean that Isaac will be stronger than normal, but his attacks aren't good against you because you're getting powered up by Earth or something? We'll fight you as many times as it takes. We won't lose. You may have beaten the 2 of us, but now you face the true might of Fire Clan of the North. The Fire Clan of the North? Bear witness to the true strength of the Northern Wilds. Oh, give it up. We beat you once, we'll do it again. Go, Felix. Take Sheba and go. I can go. We may not have the strength to protect Sheba after this. You must take Sheba to the ship without fail. What are you waiting for? Go, now! No, I cannot leave you to fight them alone. Felix, what the fuck? Are you saying you don't want to lose to Isaac? I wonder if that's true. What was that? Wouldn't you be just a little sad to see your childhood friend perish? What are you saying? I'm saying you're here to protect this brat from your past. Do you really think that I would help them? Let's just say that I wouldn't put it past you. And you, Saturos, do you agree? I wouldn't say that, but it would be best not to raise our suspicion. Now who's telling whom what's best? Fine, I'll take Sheba for you. Come on, Sheba. What a confusing dynamic. Now that our trust is lower than ever before, take her. I guess he took the rod? Except now he has the rod. I mean, he does want to light the towers. apparently, and now he has the rod and Sheba, which works for him. He doesn't need you guys anymore. He can just go on without you. Wait, Felix, I won't let you go. You can't stop him. Felix is the least of your worries right now. Oh my, they're glowing. It's time you learned what true power is. Their Psynergy is overflowing. It's too late to run. Uh-oh. They're fusing. They've merged into one another. Everyone get back. That is a very large dragon. And he's also very, very blurry looking. Huh. This particular style they have when they blow things up and down, it leads to some strange outcomes. He looks weird. Something I noticed that's strange about this art style is that, like the way they render these guys, like, they have variable pixel sizes. Like, you can see a bunch of smaller pixels amongst the bigger pixels. I'm confused a little bit. It seems like it's just very common to show like a solid like 2x2 chunk that's all one color without any variations in it. Because you can see smaller pixels that show that they can get smaller than that, so a lot of the things that look like pixels are actually 4 pixels, I think. It's a lot. I don't know. Definitely like it looks like it's a bigger character model thing that they took a picture of and scaled down. The fusion dragon has appeared. Doesn't even fit on the screen. This is a weird camera angle. Like they could just show him. I feel like they could just show him fully on screen. Maybe they didn't originally plan on the health bars being up there. I don't know. Well, anyway, welcome to phase 2. We have to do more fighting, but we leave our health and Djinn leave off exactly where we left off, which is kind of not the best. Let's spam anything resistance oriented first, because I'm a little worried how much damage we might take. I'll try to heal up Isaac because he's the most damaged. Yep, I was right to do that. Looks like Mia's faster than an evil spirit grips Mia. All right, well, curses are becoming common, huh? Drain Fang. He attacks twice per turn. No effect on Isaac. So he just doesn't do anything. All right, I'll take it. Let's set up for my summons if I can. I'll try to use the one that, yeah, tonic. Let's try to get rid of the curses. We're not very damaged right now, so I'm taking a turn off of healing. And I'm hoping I can try to set up it. Ooh. Evil Spirit, but I'm also going to remove that one too, so it's not that big of a deal. Did it work? There we go, that's good. I'm hoping to use level 4 summons, but when I'm on my way to my level 4s, that's when you get at risk of just dying because your stats are too low. So we'll be careful and hope for the best. And if I lose, I get to... You know what, I can just cheat. You know what? I don't really care. There, now I don't have to skip through all of that dialogue and then do phase 1 and then all of the dialogue again if I die. That's a lot. That's a load off my shoulders. That just feels better. I don't really regret that. Whatever. You guys wouldn't even see it anyway because I would just edit all of it out. So it would just be like, cool, I get to spend 20 minutes replaying gameplay that no one sees. Or I could play smarter. Pretty healthy at the moment. Uh-oh. It's like Meteor but purple, and he's the Meteor! This is apparently the power of the Northern Fire Tribe, as the Northern Mars Tribe. They go fusion ho, and then they turn into a two-headed dragon for some reason. Dragon Driver? Why is it called Dragon Driver? That's a wee bit odd. Attack twice. Next turn I can do that one. I've done 3 Earth so far. Anything defensive I'm happy about right now. Three, 4. Oh, Garrett's got an evil spirit. Maybe I just got lucky that one. What? Was that supposed to instantly kill him or something? The damage seemed really low. Is that just how high my resistances have gotten? I can't do the 2 actions be me using a purple to attack and then also summoning it. I can use 2 purples, but then I could be weak, dangerously weak. I don't know. I'm high enough for judgment, boy! Alright. Penetrate defense with a melting blast. Honestly, periodically using the PP regenerating ability is probably a smart idea. For a number of reasons. Nice. It's really funny that he's the meteor. I just wish he wasn't such a blurry dragon. Is that just like the maximum texture size they could use for a sprite or something? Even if it is stretched across the whole screen? I don't know. Ow. Dick. Big party heal, please. Oh, thank God she's first. Ah, I wasted Isaac's turn. That completely healed Ivan. The most worrying of them all. Here comes Thor and fire. Tiamat, I think. I forgot. Even though I just did it. Wow, you did it, Isaac. Good job. Meteor, right? The thing that the enemy's doing on me, but without a dragon in it. So is there even worth it? That's a lot of damage each time it happens. All things considered, I'm doing pretty okay. Melting blast. It's a pretty safe approach, and it might make the fight take a while, but I think we're pretty okay. Just keep casting whatever Djinn and effects make us more defensive and keep us buffed and safe and so on. Oh, there goes our buffs. Fuck me. I'm basically using whatever ones buff the party and whichever ones attack. Is basically the idea. And I just keep doing that until I can use my next summon again. And then Mia keeps the party healed, except right now she's fine, so Ooh, Do also revives a downed ally. I have 2 of those? Shit, I didn't even realize that. I must have not checked Do when I got them. None of these are really even attacks. Looks like I should have healed because he's currently faster than me. Uh-oh. I might be in trouble. That's not good. Dick. Yeah, it's because Zephyr wore off. We were faster for a bit there. Oh god. Okay, that's good though. Everyone survived, so we should be able to heal before he does anything else. Wow, Garrett's still red. Or still has red, I mean. Makes sense though. It full healed Ivan when he was weakened, which is a significant cry from a high strength version of Garrett. Ow. We're at 3. Got lots of 3s again. Attack with nature's venom. Please don't die. It would definitely be helpful to attack as Mia, but she's got her hands full. The party will die basically immediately if I stop doing that. Oh god, she almost died anyway. Let's do Thor, and then let's do Nereid. Let's try to get Mia stronger again. She has 2 spent Djinn, and I don't like how easy to kill she seems to be at the moment. Judgment. This might kill him though. We might win. I just hope Mia doesn't die right now. Okay, she's first. Good. The agility boost is hitting. It's kind of ridiculous how iconic looking Judgment is when it's just one summon from one game. Hey! Judgment is the win! How? How did we lose? Because you're not the protagonist. We are superior in every way, but still we were defeated. Yeah, I'm basically this game's cosmic hero. Oh my god. That was distressing. We did it. We won. We beat them. But have we really won? No. All our efforts were for naught. Yeah, we didn't accomplish anything in this game besides kicking the ass of people that did kill our parents, to be fair. Indirectly. What are you talking about? We did everything we could. Yes, that's what the all our efforts were for naught means. Sure, we couldn't save the Venus lighthouse, but we beat them. They're gone. You saw them fall down into the pit. So we don't have to worry about any more beacons being lit. But Felix is gone and he's taken Sheba. What's with you guys? Isaac, what are you looking at? Felix. Wait, they're still here? Did you finish them? No one knew their power better than I did. If you destroyed them, then I am no match for you now, Isaac. I must go. Come, Sheba. Wait, Felix! Why do you run from us? They fell into the lighthouse. It's all over. Poor fools. If you think it's over, you are sadly mistaken. If you plan to light the other beacons, you'll still need the elemental stars. We have them. They're gone, Felix. You don't have to light the beacons anymore. Yes, I do. If I don't light the beacons. He says he has the stars, but he should only have one star at this point, and we have the other one. What will happen? It's no use talking about it. Just wait and see. If you won't release Sheba, we'll have to take her back. Well. Whoa! That's not good. Well, that really... Oh no, that's one tile further than I can jump. I guess we're doomed. The lighthouse. Isaac, they're too far away. We can't reach Felix. That's not all. There's light coming from down below. Well, that's distressing. No. Sheba. Hang on, Sheba. Take my hand. I can't. You must try. If you don't, you'll fall. That's the idea, yeah, Felix. Look down. The foundations of the lighthouse are crumbling. Why is this happening? Is it to protect Venus Lighthouse? I'm slipping. I can't hold on any longer. No. Don't let go. You can't. You'll... Goodbye, Felix. And thank you. Sheba. No, I won't let you die. Oh! Well. Ah! It's one of those moments that fucked with me as a kid. It's like, is Isaac gonna say a word? It's like the only times you see his portrait in dialogue and you're like, ah, Isaac? No, it's just, he's just doing a reaction sound or something. That's it. Sheba fell after that last tremor. Felix didn't dive into the sea after her, did he? Oh, the water's down there. That's good. So they're fine. It's a JRPG. They wouldn't die on. They wouldn't die off camera due to gravity. I can't believe he did that from so high up. So I guess the idea is that when we did the Mercury Lighthouse, or they did the Mercury Lighthouse, its power was unleashed. But like Mercury is like healing water and stuff, so it's like, this is pretty cool, it's pretty chill. Not really much of a consequence this time, everyone's actually better off. But the Earth Lighthouse is just earthquakes, so that's kind of a It's a bit of a problem for the lighthouse, at the very least, and probably a problem elsewhere. Maybe, like, forests will grow amok, too, or something, but first reaction is definitely just, oh god, earthquake. Pretty ridiculous and hilarious way for the tower to split open, though. A perfect plus sign. You idiot, Felix. I can't believe that he'd light the other beacons. We would have had to fight him if this hadn't happened. But he sacrificed himself to save Sheba. He's not like Saturos. I'm at a loss, Isaac. We have to decide what to do next. Oh, what we do next is get off this falling tower before we die. What to do? What can we do? What about Jenna and the others at Idejima? Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Jenna. Isaac, listen up. We've got to find Jenna. You forgot about your sister. Wait, she's not your sister. Your sister's back. No, never mind. You both have separate families. But yeah, their old friend. Look at that. Isaac has finally come back to his senses. Shouldn't we go find Jenna and save the others right away? Yeah, that's the goal. It's about time you started agreeing with me. Stop being stupid. Isaac, you'll have to tell Jenna about Felix. This is... Oh, right, because they're assuming that Felix is dead. I know it'll be hard, but you'll be there to comfort her. What's the matter, Garrett? I was just thinking, how the heck are we supposed to get down? Good point. This is going to make leaping very difficult. Anyone got any kind of like anti-grav boots or... Oh. What? It's back to normal. That was odd. What's going on around here? I don't think we'll ever know. Just went back to normal. What? At least now we can go search for Jenna and the others. Alright, let's go, Isaac. It's time to find Jenna. Yeah, killing Felix this way would be very narratively unsatisfying, especially when they're setting up, like, who's this Sheba? But despite a long and tiring search, Jenna was nowhere to be found. At this point, it'd be very, like, they just set up, like, some kind of relationship between Sheba and Felix, and, like, what's that motivation? Like, what's their bond? Why is Sheba seemingly loyal to Felix, despite them being the kidnappers? Like, you wouldn't set that up and be like, and now they're dead! And immediately, that's just not good. How did the search for Sheba turn out? We were unable to find any sign of her. The seas are too rough to search. And there's no sign of her on land. Told me is responsible for Sheba's fate. No apology can reflect the sorrow I feel at your loss, Farron. All we can do for Sheba now is hope. But tell me, what of Jenna and the others? The same. We've searched all over, but they're nowhere to be found. The ground tore apart from the shock of the lighthouse and the ship. Apparently everything at Idejima, including the ship, was swept away. So Idejima itself was washed out to sea. Incredible. Then the cave too has been flooded. But we think Jenna and the others are still alive. They may have been washed out to sea with Idejima. We have decided to continue searching for Jenna. Haven't we, Isaac? Do not worry about Sheba. I just hope you were able to find Jenna. Don't worry. Why don't worry about Sheba? We will find Sheba without fail. I mean, you're both searching. We're both searching for two girls at the same time. You don't know who's going to find what in what order or where they are. Likely together. Sheba has been in dangerous situations before and lived. I mean, she's a Jupiter adept apparently, and like on top of being a Venus adept or something. She probably used wind powers to survive the fall or something. But this time, I believe it was nothing short of a miracle. Who knew the sea would rise up to the lighthouse just as she fell? Oh, it did. Okay. Can you really call that a miracle? Do you think it was just good luck? Let's call it mere coincidence for now. I mean, it could have been the earthquake. Causes tsunamis and things. It's usually in the opposite direction, though further... I don't know. Nothing is coincidental when it comes to this child. So you believe Sheba survived? Yes, I am sure of it. Just because Sheba was an adept? An adept? What is that? Well, it's someone with abilities like theirs. Isaac, you and your friends are truly amazing. You were able to enter the ancient ruins and get to Venus Lighthouse. But Sheba was different. She couldn't enter the ruins. That's just because Sheba's abilities are different from theirs. No matter how many times I explain that to Farron, he doesn't get it. Garrett, don't be rude. Unfortunately, we don't have time to talk. We've got to go. That's right. I didn't mean to keep you. That didn't come out right. We mean that while we're talking, Jenna and the others are lost at sea. I understand your desire to leave as soon as possible. The seas have been very rough since the beacon was lit. Be careful. You too. Farewell. Take care, and farewell. Thank you very much. I hope your search for Sheba yields success. Oh. Please, wait for me outside Farron's house. I wish to speak with you.
Okay.
Oh, here. I was like, where do I go to wait outside the house? Where are you going, Isaac? Ayodam asked us to wait. Okay. I know we need to leave, but we should hear what Ayodam has to say. We can delay our departure a little longer. Let's wait. Alright, is waiting done? That's how you wait. Okay. Thank you for waiting for me. As you no doubt have guessed, I need to speak with you about Lemuria. Yes, the island of the ancients far out to sea. When you could not find Jenna, you returned to Venus Lighthouse. Yeah, the base of the lighthouse was flooded, so we couldn't get out. And that's when you gazed out to sea, as you promised Bobby you would. Yes, and we saw an area wrapped in mist. I remembered how Bobby said Lemuria was always covered in mist. I am not sure, but I am beginning to think that may be Lemuria. If it is, then Bobby's life could be saved? Yes. Then I guess we have no choice but to go. Good. Then it's settled. I'll make arrangements for you to leave at once. But we have to find Jenna first. That is the other reason I want to see you, to give you this. The black orb that lets us use the ship we saw earlier. Oh, isn't that... You will need it to sail Bobby's ship. I thought the ship we saw at Irejima was Bobby's. His ship is here in Lalivero. Well, I really fucked that up. So the ship at the peninsula was Saturos' ship. Perhaps. But we have no way of finding that out on our own. Finding that out now. Yes, they're gone. But now we can sail the ship of the ancients. It certainly will aid us in our search for Jenna. Bobby told me the ship of the ancients is an incredible vessel. It will make your search for Jenna easier. We appreciate it. But I want you to find Lemuria as soon as possible. We promised Bobby we would find Lemuria. We will not fail him. The ship is docked at the edge of town. You will know it when you see it. Farewell, and bring back news of Lemuria. Maybe I did beat Golden Sun 1 as a kid, because I do remember that dragon. Right on, Isaac. We finally get to see the ocean. To sea we go. It's time to depart. Don't they have boats? Like, I'm just like... Doesn't everybody have boat? Not everybody, but like, boats are just a thing, right? A lighthouse seems like a weird way to find a place like that. When you have ships that can just go closer. No trespassing, danger beyond this point. I guess that's the end of that. Everybody's healed up. Let's go ahead and save. Ding, ding, dang, dang. Our final levels are 27, 28, 28, 28. Almost all of us passed 100,000 experience, which is many experience. What are you doing? Aren't we taking Bobby's ship? Then we should head to that wharf the soldier in town was guarding. I don't know where that is. Over here? Is this the wharf? I was told to let you in if you showed up. The door is open. Oh, this is a wharf? Just a little house. What? What? This is some severe case of bigger on the inside going on. Holy crap. I'm kind of afraid to get in this boat now. I feel like I'm about to get House of Leaves. It looks like it's finally time to leave Gondawam. It's so strange. We've been traveling for so long, and yet it feels like we've only just begun. Now that I think about it, so many things have happened. Everyone looks stare at the camera. Hello, owner. But our journey will be over as soon as we find Jenna, right? No. What'd you say? Our next journey? What journey is that? I mean, finding Jenna isn't the same thing as stopping the lighthouses from being lit. Unless you're just assuming Felix is gonna stop or is dead. You didn't forget, did you, Garrett? Our promise to Bobby. Also that, I guess. I don't really care about that as much. Oh, Lemuria. I wonder what kind of place Lemuria is. We have to find Jenna before going to Lemuria, don't we? Yeah, that's important. At any rate, this will be our first time on the ocean. So this is the ocean Kraden wanted me to see. The seas are very rough. You think we'll be okay? This is a Lemurian ship. We'll be fine. Well, shall we then? To sea! Djinn is waiting for us.
Yep.
And away we go. Hey, we beat it. Get to look at some combat backgrounds they use throughout the game. This one's nice looking. It always made the places we were fighting look so massive though, like we were like ants, like little toys. That's where we fought the bandits. It's a neat game. It's a pretty neat game all around. It holds up pretty well. It looks pretty good, even though the weird use of non-pixel art, like the combat, like some of the attacks look really cool, even though there's not as many of them as you would hope in some cases. The summons are obviously pretty hype. And the whole rotating camera trick, even though it just means switching between two different poses for most of the characters, just looks really cool. It's really cool to have this feeling like you're having a sweeping camera that goes around the fight when it's a 2D game. Like, that's a cool effect overall. It's still very much a JRPG, so it's just so many random encounters that you just aren't... It's not interesting. Random encounters suck. Like, in every game they're in, basically. And part of what sucks about them is just the fact that, like, you don't think. Your brain turns off and you just mash the buttons. Like, you pretty much are like, I don't know, I'll either just do normal attack against everybody, or I'll like cast some AoE spells. Just whatever ones I have on hand, really. You're not like planning your elements necessarily. It's like, I don't know, it's a rat and it's a ghost. Who cares what they're weak against? Or you spam summons on them, which is the least thought of all. And it's like, pretty much every JRPG I've ever played, that's how random encounters work. It's just, you're not thinking, you're not really playing. You're just kind of, you just through it, just press buttons, and it's over. And you're like, wow, I'm sure getting stronger. And I'm earning it, totally, with all this hard work I'm doing. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just mashing through a trivial encounter that doesn't really try to ever challenge you or make you think at all. This even even games that sort of parody or like subvert this stuff run into the same problem. Like in Undertale, a game that really reduces the number of encounters overall and is not very long, and has a relatively large percentage of encounters that are scripted, fixed encounters with characters that are in specific locations and are basically boss fights. It still has random encounters in between them, and if you're playing the game the nice way, to not murdering everybody, then you gotta like solve each enemy. It's like, oh, what's the trick between how to get into this character to not have to get murdered? And like the random encounters have that element too. But in each zone, there's like what, 3 to 5 different random encounters that are new. And then once you cycle through them, you're like, oh, okay, well, it's this guy again, so I just gotta do the thing. You did it, there, I did it again, woo! You cannot resume your adventure. With this data, carefully choose a place to save. Okay. Well, I was already in Lalavero at that point, so save over that one. So I don't think I can leave at that point anyway. There we go. Ta-da! We did it. Da 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 ba da 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 da. It looks like that island is moving. That shit's kind of fucked up. Oh, Kraden. How long will this island continue to drift? Or oh, Kraden. I don't know. I wish you could tell me. Sheesh, you're no help in times like this. Hey, I'm hungry. How can you think about food? Because he's hungry. Jenna. I wonder what happened to my brother. Right, because she's Felix's sister. I can't be certain, but it looks like they lit the Venus beacon. You don't have to tell me that. That's how we wound up adrift at sea, right? So this island moves around. Is this the island of Lemuria? So finding Lemuria and Jenna is the same goal? Even if they don't know that yet? You are so cranky today, Jenna. Well, I suppose you must be worried about Felix. And his potential death. So apparently wherever Sheba and Felix ended up, it was not on that boat. Isaac and his friends must have been nearby too. They probably were. I miss them. Isaac, Felix. This dick, not so much. There is something I wish to show you. Walk this way. Talk this way. Just across the whole island. Oh, there's Felix and Sheba. Alright, well, they're there. Felix! Sheba! Felix, Sheba. At the same time, though, but in different tones. They're alive. They're alive. What is this? Alex, what happened? How does an island drift? Is it on the back of a reef back? There we go, so it's not ambiguous anyway. I felt a little bad that it might be spoiling stuff, but I was like, it's like the next game, it's just too blatant. It's like spoiling the cover of the next game is a bit of a silly threshold. But yeah, at some point, we'll hopefully come back around and play the sequel, which has a perspective change. We'll be playing as Jenna and Sheba and Felix as the new party, and Isaac and Mia and Ivan and Garrett are out there somewhere, but the core party of the next game is a perspective shift. So that's why they spend time here setting up Sheba and Felix of being like, okay, what's their relationship? What's going on there? Because like that's something's going on there beyond the surface level read that a lot of the game lets you go with. I can only assume they just wrote both games in like, or like they had the whole, like the skeleton planned out, like not just like there's 4 lighthouses and you only do 2 per game, but like the character dynamics and where they were going to go with that stuff, they must have been planning it already, because like that's just too specific. As far as when I'll get around to the next game, I don't know. It's time for Monster Hunter Rise, and then I'm overdue to play Yakuza 4 and Pillars of Eternity 2. Thankfully, within the case of Pillars, that means the franchise is done, unless they make a 3rd one at some point. But I'll be caught up with that one. But that's a long... that could take like 4 to 6 months. Jesus. I'll probably do Yakuza first then. Because it's been like a year since Yakuza 3. Whoops. That's how easily you lose track. But then, I don't know, maybe we'll get to Golden Sun at some point along the lines there. But, you know, I also want to play new games every now and then, and not just sequels to the games I've played before, because we're talking about 4 sequels to games I've played before: Golden Sun, Monster Hunter, Pillars, and Yakuza. If you ever wonder, like, why haven't you played the sequel yet, or this or that game? It's been years. Part of it's this. It's like, yeah, but when do I play games that aren't just sequels to other games? Because like, if I try to play the sequels to every game I've started already, it's gonna take me a long time. Like, if I played every Yakuza game back to back, I think it would take me 2 years at least, just to play that one franchise alone. And obviously everyone would be sick of it by then, including me. Or like the DLC to Pokemon Sword and Shield, or I played Dragon Age Inquisition, but where's my series of Dragon Age 1 and 2, and 4 is going to be coming out. I did do the Mass Effect trilogy all in one go, and that's like nice to have out of the way. But yeah, it's so many things that get started, and you're like, oh fuck. And you might be like, well then why don't you just play the franchise all at once every time, like you did with Mass Effect? It's like, you get tired of playing the same shit all the time. Mass Effect's like my favorite thing. Like it's one of my favorite things. It was a special case. But anyway, back to the discussion that got cut off because the credits were very short because it's a GBA game from 20 years ago. Both of which are reasons to have short credits back then. This game holds up pretty well in a lot of ways. The story is fine. It doesn't like blow your mind or anything. It's not like really innovating or doing anything crazy, but it is dialogue heavy, which being conveyed in a dialogue heavy way where they don't allow one character just to talk for 10 minutes means there aren't like massive exposition dumps that are exhausting like they are in other games. But there are like entirely redundant scenes in this game that do nothing. And then certain sections that are just really awkwardly scripted and repetitive and rote. Like the tournament is neat, but the fact that they try to just replay the same dialogue over and over again because it's mechanical and repeating itself is rough. But obviously the way worse version of that was the boat, where you're just like, I don't know, it's like it's janky about where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do, but also it's just so many repeating scenes and repeating dialogue, and it's just so unnecessary. But then just weird elements like when we saved people from Lunpa, there was just like 2 or 3 scenes that played in a row that were just not new information, and it's like, why is this happening right now? That's just odd. Oh well. The combat's interesting. I don't totally love JRPG combat in general, and I can't really necessarily say that Golden Sun is necessarily massively winning me over necessarily in any special way. It doesn't do anything wrong necessarily, I guess, but it definitely is still like, yeah, it's a JRPG, and I don't totally love this. And like, that's not a thing about turn-based combat. It's just that it comes down to whether or not I'm making an interesting choice every turn during turn-based combat. And generally speaking, I'm just kind of not. In some ways, the game's not especially hard, and in other ways, it's like, even though you do have elemental strengths and weaknesses in this game, you're always going to have balance problems throughout your party of having different elements. And so you pretty much just have them spam whatever they're good at. Like, maybe they have a buff to spend every now and then, but then they just go back to spamming attacks, either being Djinn or spells. Probably one or the other, because going back and forth is kind of iffy, because unless you just start with Djinn to get your element up, and then you spam your powers once your element is up. Going back and forth otherwise is bad, because the Djinn keep making you weak when you spend them, so you don't want to stay in that state for too long unless you're getting ready for a summon. So those systems feel a little oil and water sometimes. There's a complex class switching system, which eventually gets you to stuff like that's really crazy, like Ninja, but stuff like that is so convoluted, and I feel like it often encourages you to not necessarily fully engage with the systems used in other parts of it. Like if you're class switching to Ninja, now you can't use your Djinn, because the moment you use your Djinn, you're gonna class switch out of Ninja into some other thing that's kind of unpredictable and messy and weird, and will that one be strong enough? Like, it requires a huge amount of memorization of like what different variations of classes people get based on what Djinn configurations are currently active versus on standby versus switched out with people and so on. It's a lot of complexity that I can praise for being innovative and interesting and crazy and weird and memorable, but I don't know if it necessarily is particularly useful and good that it works that way. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily conductive towards having interesting choices. I mean, those are definitely interesting. I just don't know. I guess it's particularly just that I don't know if you're necessarily pushed to ever want to make those choices. It's like a self-inflicted level of complexity you can just give yourself, but doesn't necessarily seem to change much. I don't know. It's just kind of odd. I like that the dungeons are dungeons. That was a day one praise, obviously, that stuck through the whole time. Is you actually interact with the dungeons and solve them. They're not like on the level of like genuinely difficult and intensive that some other games can be sometimes. Definitely no like Grimrock 2 puzzles and secrets, or like really almost any secrets. Secrets are usually just go there. Oh wow, you went there too instead of the way you just had to go? Crazy. Not a lot going on there. And there's also, it's not the level of crazy that some Zelda dungeons have, although that's not always a fair comparison, because in my head I'm thinking about 3D Zeldas in particular, which this game's not 3D to begin with. But like those are the more involved ones so far. I haven't played that many 2D Zeldas, but their dungeons do seem a little less involved just because they have fewer things to play with. It's also worth noting that this game is old enough that like most of the 3D Zelda games didn't exist. Like, if I were to guess, I think Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask existed, but not Wind Waker. I think that's where we land with Golden Sun. I don't even know if Wind Waker existed. It might not have. It might have only been Ocarina of Time. Either way, it might have been developed before some of these games existed. And I'm not even entirely sure about the timeline there, but like that's where we are timeline-wise. Is this game came out around the time that the first 3D Zeldas were coming out, and so it's just neat to see it have dungeons and so on at all. Because yeah, modern JRPGs bum me out because it feels like they're just wasting my time. I just want to get to the next story beat immediately, because the in-between time is just like an open green field full of random monsters that don't relate to the story at all. And then the dungeon is usually just like, run forward. But like, whoa! We took a Sharpie on this piece of paper and we scribbled around, so it looks like a complex mess in a web. What a fucking what a tangle for you to untangle. What compelling gameplay that is, right? And then you look at it and you realize that it's still one continuous line of Sharpie. It just looks tangled, but like you're still only doing one thing in one direction the whole time. I always look at Tales of Zestiria and Berseria when I complain about this. Although I saw this with Tokyo Mirage Sessions also, where it's just like, there's always only one correct way to go, and it's always like, there's either no puzzle mechanic, or it's just like, go to the end of the hallway, press the switch, wow, that opened the way forward, go there now. And like, that's all there is to it, and there's no, they're not playing coy with it. There's not the obfuscation of obviousness that lets you like at least have to think about it a bit, let alone like the genuine level of like having to solve it you get in like a Zelda game, for example. And yeah, like those are somewhat different kinds of games, but what's the point of having a dungeon if it doesn't have gameplay mechanics in it? If like, some people might say that a JRPG dungeon just exists to be a dramatic location for random encounters and that's it, and I guess you can think that, but I think that it's better when it's not, and I think that's just like undercutting it, making it that way. So it's nice to go back to Golden Sun and see like, oh yeah, actual JRPG dungeons. That's nice. Yeah, by and large the game wasn't very challenging, like ever. The hardest thing that happened is when I went to Mercury Lighthouse too early. And that was kind of fun that you could do that. It's fun how non-linear that area was in the starting section, that you could do some stuff out of order. You couldn't really finish it, but you could like start and stop different objectives and have them running in parallel, and that was kind of neat. And they had adaptive stuff in the dialogue where Mia would show up in scenes that you would think she wouldn't have had dialogue for because you wouldn't make sense for her to be there, but technically you can. And so she suddenly had dialogue for like the forest and stuff like that, and like, wait, what? But you're supposed to do the forest first. And it's like, yeah, but here we go. And technically you need to finish the lighthouse in order to finish the forest, but they expect you to start the forest first. It's a lot. There's just stuff going on there. You can tell they tried really hard in this game, and a lot of effort went into it, and it stands up as this weird, interesting beacon that's really memorable from people's childhoods, but also like stands up pretty well within its genre, while also suffering, in my view, from some of the things that make that genre, or that are common in that genre at least. So it's hard to be that hard on it, but also that doesn't mean that I love it when it's happening. But yeah, that's Golden Sun. Hopefully I'll get to the sequel one day, and I'll see you guys next time.